So what I'm going to say, and Tony's absolutely on the right track, is people need to take a fundamental shift in the way they're thinking about communicating with buyers. And there's several things that go into that. One is that 83% of the buying journey happens without us in sales. They're doing their own thing. But if you look at the current tools that are in the market people are using, you know, 90% of the GTM stack is just focused on top of the funnel, outbound prospecting and all that. More intent data, more this data, more that data. Very few tools in the market are thinking, how do I facilitate the buyer to make a better decision? And that's what people should be thinking about every day in terms of how they're communicating. How do I facilitate better buyer understanding when I'm not in the room? How do I understand what they need when I'm not in the room? How do I allow them to communicate better between them when I'm not in the room? Because you know what? You're not going to be in the room most of the time. So people need to stop thinking about how do I allow my salespeople to hyperdrive their activity and start thinking about how to allow my buyers to make the right decision about my product and solution. And just importantly, how do I know when they're making the wrong decision? So when I am in the room, I can address it. And that's a fundamental shift. And that's where I'm,
we need to pull at that thread. Okay, Tony, now do you see why the founder of an AI sales tool DM'd me on LinkedIn and I actually took the meeting? I was like, oh, this looks interesting.
Oh, I thought nobody can reach out to people and get meetings booked, right? Isn't that the folklore out there?
Yeah. For anybody listening, most of the time I ignore that, by the way. Glenn hit me right here.
I appreciate it, Summer. Sometimes I feel like I'm shouting out into a void because the whole market is really geared towards seller activity. And it's a big mistake. Even the data people look at, all those data companies, we're judging data on somebody clicked on something, on somebody hovered on something. I tell this anecdote a lot, but because it makes me laugh. I got a notification from HubSpot the other day that told me that one of my prospects had my document open for 72 hours.
Whoa,
and accordingly, they bumped up their score and told me I should reach out to them. And I'm like, I don't think they spent 72 hours reviewing my one pager. I think they opened up a tab and never looked at it again.
It's funny that the bots don't always know. Okay, so Glenn, you took us to a place that I want to spend some time doing because I think that this ties back around to why Tony's on my show a lot. So we talked about, okay, we got to do this. We got to let's talk about what I want to talk about, which is how we get all that done. I want to not just beat people up with, hey, things are changing, but reasonably, how do we kind of get this type of content that your system needs, Glenn? I mean, I know it's folks got to talk internally.
I'm doing my best not to plug myself. But
yeah,
really,
we don't do sales here.
Yep.
Because if you start selling your product too much, I will edit that out.
I am not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
We have a hard no selling rule here.
No problem.
But we can talk about the mechanics of how to get it done.
Yeah.
Internally.
Yeah, I think one of the aspects is content. And the truth is today, there's just no excuse to not be able to put out content because all the barriers of content production are down. I'd say the one aspect there is we could hyper speed our production of content, but the danger there is we could also hyper speed our production of crap content. And you need to find that balance. Yeah. And you need to find that balance.
The content has to have a job.
Yeah. Yes.
And if it's just marketing with Claude producing content at scale, it's not going to do what it needs to do.